Talk to me the next move. I'm out the military, but I say I because I'm you.
Right.
What's your next move?
I had registered for college.
Okay.
So I have the GI Bill.
Mhm.
I did get a like a $25,000 scholarship as well.
Okay.
So,
you got the kicker.
Well, it was a
Army
scholarship.
college fund.
It was a separate private scholarship that I applied for.
Okay.
Didn't know how the hell I got it, but I got it. The Horatio Alger Military. I don't know, but I got this scholarship, and I had the GI Bill. So I remember this is on the phone. This is how they did it back in the day. I had to call a number. I don't know if the GI Bill still works like this, but 1-800. I didn't have a cell phone either. I had to call every month to verify my eligibility, and all I know is like $1,400 hit my bank account on that Monday.
Mhm.
You call, you verify, and I got 14, and I used that money to live off of because I had this scholarship for school.
Okay.
So I'm living on $1,400 a month, got some money saved up. Later on in life, well, I had this part-time job that lasted a couple weeks.
Doing what?
You
You was a part-time stripper, wasn't you?
I made good money.
Did you do hair too? What'd you do?
I was a teller at Wells Fargo Bank on 32nd Street in Shea inside the Bashes. I lasted maybe 2 weeks.
Okay.
And some dude came into the bank and he had change, like a bag of change, coins. And he threw it at me. Like, I need dollars. He wanted change for bills, dollar bill. He threw his bag of change at me. And I'm just like, ugh.
That was a metaphor so you could make a change.
Ooh, damn. Damn.
That's your second pack of
How
sugar,
come I never
baby.
think of smart shit to say like
I'm
that?
sorry, go ahead. You got hit with a bag of change.
And I walked out.
Mm-hmm.
I left the bank.
So did you, how much
I quit.
was his money? Or did you
I don't know.
even
I never counted it.
Oh.
I
Damn.
mean, I don't mind counting your change. That's my job.
Yeah.
I'll be a bank teller where I go to school.
But
But don't throw it at me
Yeah.
like I'm a cockroach.
Or maybe he was playing cornhole.
Whatever it was.
So anyway, let's get past this bank because time is a factor here today.
Yeah.
What happens after that? You quit your job. Are you married? Have a kid yet?
No, I was still single. That
Okay.
was my college days. I was,
Yeah.
and you know what? I was having a lot of fun. I met some.
Can we talk about the socks? I want to talk about these socks, man.
What socks?
So, as military people, we transition out of the military, right? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about them socks, baby. Tell the sock story. America, you need to hear this damn story about some socks.
I had transferred from a community college to Arizona State, graduated ASU in 2010.
And congrats.
Go Sun Devils, I guess. I don't know what that means, but I was oblivious in life about, apparently there's dress codes you don't, violate. I didn't know because I'm in the I come from the military, man. You don't what do you wear in the military?
Don't sugarcoat it. Get to the point about the socks.
I was wearing white socks.
Yes.
With like
Yes, he was.
black kind of dress shoes and black pants with white like athletic socks. And my buddy Mario, I love this guy to death. He has been there for me. And I don't know this guy at this point. And I'm sitting next to him first day of class in ASU. He's like, dude, you can't wear those socks. I'm like, what? I love these socks. He's like, you got to color coordinate your socks. So I didn't know you had to color coordinate your socks until my mid damn 20s.
Yeah. Well,
apparently that's a thing.
So this is a good point because a lot of times, just because it says military free suits forever, I've said, look, your belt and your damn shoes should match, and you don't just wear white socks for the sake of wearing white socks.
I wore white socks; they were comfortable.
You
but I learned then to color coordinate your socks.
Help your damn friends out. There's nothing worse than going for the job looking like a bag of ass.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
All right. So now that we got the public service numbers out the way, let's talk about how you progress as a father or inch me towards that.
I have one son, and he wasn't born until 2013. So this is still 2008, 9.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Okay, we haven't got to Vegas yet.
Right.
Well, tell me about it.
Well, I'm going to college. And at that point, I'm still a little bit screwed in the head, but I'm kind of getting better. And, I managed to graduate ASU, but then while I was going to ASU, I met a gentleman who introduced me to the world of entrepreneurship. I was on the path of graduate college, get a job.
Yeah.
And then I met this gentleman here in town.
Okay.
Who had his own business, very successful, and had a new startup venture. And he was in his 60s. I was, in my mid-20s.
So he gave you an opportunity.
He took me under his wing. He didn't give me a job because there was no money, but he took me under his wing and we would meet very regularly. He was a mentor.
Okay.
And he would show me his venture and what he was doing and how he put together his business plan and what he did. And that opened my eyes to entrepreneurship.
All right.
And then one day I had an idea and I'm like, yep, I'm going to go try this idea. And that's right around the time I met my then wife, my son's mom, but we were not married yet and we didn't have a child. Okay. But that was my first kind of roll the dice. We won't go into it. Time will kill it. I could talk for this is a 3-day story, but excuse me. It was a tech startup back in the day. And this is one thing when I mentor veterans, I say, back in that era, a tech startup was cool. Instagram was coming on the scene. Facebook was already on the scene, but having a tech startup was cool. And I thought, in order to be an entrepreneur, you have to have a tech startup. You have to try to have a company and go public one day and be a billionaire and change the world. And that's what an entrepreneur means.
Why do I get the feeling that this didn't go well?
Oh, it went very bad. Yes, you're correct. So I did. I got it off the ground. Long story, less long. I had a tech startup. We were valued on paper at about $2.2 million.
Hey!
We were rocking and rolling. I had 12 employees. I had a $98,000 a nut to crack. I did it for 2.5 years. And it broke me. I made every wrong decision under the sun. Company crashed and burned like no other. And that was 6 or 7 months-ish before my son was born.
So how the hell did you get out of that? What happened next?
Well, I rented a U-Haul and I backed it up to...
No, did you meet anybody? Like, in my mind, that, the startup crashed. How did you get out of that? Did you link up with anybody? Did someone say, hey, here's another opportunity?
Well...
How'd that go down?
Well, first and foremost...
Because I'd be shitting my pants right now if my...
I didn't know this, but there's a proper way to dissolve a company. Just like you form a company, and there's a proper way to do that. There's a proper way to dissolve. I didn't even know how to dissolve a company. Okay. So anyways, to wrap this up, everybody left. Everybody but 2 or 3 people just scattered. I stopped paying them. Payroll stopped making it. I didn't have any money. Shout out to Nathan Wagner, who stuck by my side for a little bit. Big shout out to Michael Hool. Big shout out to Michael Hool. Big shout out to Neil Reithinger.
That was twice for you, Michael.
Yeah, that was twice. Because these guys actually stuck by my side and said, we're going to help you get through this. And then...
What was the next opportunity, man? How do we get to...
Well, you're missing... This is where you keep bringing up my son. This is where my son comes into play. Yeah. So we shut that company down November of 2012. We're in November now. 8 years ago, probably to the day, I was shutting down a $2.2 million company.
What a difference a day makes.
And May of 13, so November of 12.
Tell me about how you felt. Because one thing we do, the people who come on this show, or hell, I've even been on the other side of the chair, you busted my ass about how I felt. So how the fuck did you feel? You just felt like a motherfucker.
We had some investors and I lost their money. And even though there's no legal ramification per se, I mean, it was an investment. Investments have risk, but I lost their money.
Did you think about suicide ever?
Not in any kind of serious manner, but it crossed my mind. But my mom put in a lot of money. My mom had to work an extra 2 years because she believed in her son, invested in me, and I shit the bed. My mom was a school teacher. She didn't have a lot of money. Damn. My dad invested. And we're not talking pennies.
So my point is that you felt probably like
it was lost. It was I have no next move. I have zero next move. This is checkmate. I just lost a bunch of people's money. I lost everything I owned. Mm-hmm. And did I mention I had no next move? Except, your son's being born very soon.
Move your ass to the store and get some diapers.
Yeah, I stole my first box of diapers from Target on 101 and Tatum because I had no money. And I'm not proud of that. Kind of am, but I'm not. I shoplifted my first box of diapers. I had no...
Did what you had to do for your family.
I was driving to the hospital to deliver my son with negative $10 to my name. And you know what my then wife said when I walked home with the diapers?
What'd she say?
Did you pay for those? I said, no. She's like, go return them. I don't want that bad karma.
Did you return them?
No.
Okay.
We needed diapers.
Hey, we needed diapers. Things had never. That's heavy, man.
That's the truth. I was driving to the hospital with negative $10 to my name on May 5th. My son was actually born May 6th, but we drove the day prior.
Was it easy stealing diapers?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, you don't have any of those indicators look like this dude's gonna walk in the store and steal some damn diapers.
It's Target. You can,
They probably gave you an excuse when they were watching the cameras, like, you forgot. He'll be back.
They gave me a pass, but it was rough, man. That 2013 and 14 were the worst 2 years of my life, ish.
But then there's this thing called perseverance.
Determinarity.
It's a word we made up earlier. You guys don't know. Just trust me on this one. So what happens next? Because apparently you're down.
I would not get a job. Call it stubborn. Call it I'm a not. Well, everybody's like, go get a job. And it's not because I'm lazy. Maybe prideful a little bit, and I'll buy that. I was maybe too proud. But I wanted to start a new company because when my first company failed, and it was almost like I didn't get out of bed for like a week. Just miserable.
Yeah.
Miserable. And when I finally got out of bed, it's like every lesson I needed to learn, at that stage in life, hit me. Well, you shouldn't have made that hire because you weren't ready, and here's why. Well, the software engineer wasn't ready for the UI UX design guy, and the design guy you didn't, because we had a tech company. You didn't, the sitemap didn't work out. The flowchart, every lesson just hit me. And it's like,
you went back into the cocoon while you were in the bed, not doing anything you were AAR and what was happening.
Yeah. And just boom, every lesson. And it's like, well, you know what?
And then what happened?
What happened then was somebody who I really, really respect, John Kay. John Kay, I know his brother, Mike. John pulled me in and was doing something in the healthcare industry. And that's how I got into healthcare. I'm still into healthcare to this day.
Because of John?
Because of John.
Well, one time for John.
But
so I had to go down, though.
Well, John couldn't pay me, and I needed money. So these cats out of Vegas said, we'll kind of mentor you and take you under our wing. Big shout out to Lori, Kelly, Dave in Vegas. They saved my life.
How? Tell me how it went down.
I flew out, so I knew them just from some stuff, and we I'm calling everybody.
Okay.
Network. Your network. We always talk about your network. I'm calling everybody I know, and I knew a lot of people from coast to coast. And I'm calling people, hey, what are you into these days? Where are the opportunities at? What's going on? I'm calling, and I come.
Dude, how did John get you to Vegas?
John didn't get me to Vegas. John got me into the industry. Well, we all knew each other.
All right.
So anyways, these people in Vegas said, come out, we'll mentor you.
Okay.
We'll teach you this industry that we're in. It's in the healthcare industry. I flew out to Vegas on a Thursday morning on like the 8 a.m. flight. We had an 11:30 lunch. We met till about 3, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm home on the 7 p.m. flight. I'm back in my house in Phoenix on a Thursday night with my then wife and a 1-year-old, maybe 1.5, whatever. And I looked my wife in the eye and I said, we have to be in Vegas on Monday.
Did she poke you in the other eye?
Nope. She said, I'll start packing.
That's a hell of a lady. I was married once, and I think my wife would have Rodney King my ass if I'd have said some shit.
It was my last. I had nothing. I couldn't afford rent. I said, we have to be in Vegas on Monday.
And you made it happen.
We packed. I got a U-Haul. My buddy Brad, who I bribed, didn't tell him I was moving. I said, come over and have breakfast. Some English muffins. And we threw everything we owned in a U-Haul with my, by the way, car that got repossessed a week prior. That's a funny story. We'll get into that later. And we drove to Vegas in a rented U-Haul and a loaner car from my then wife's uncle that lives in California.
But that timeline is tight.
Oh, tight.
So 90% of people I know, if they had that opportunity, I believe life is full of choose your own adventure moments. At any fucking time, you could have said, oh man, I ain't doing that. That decision right there. How much weight would you put on for determining the rest of your life?
If I did not go out to Vegas
Yes.
and spend the 9 months there learning this healthcare industry that I'm in now, there's no way I'd be here today. I don't know where I'd be, but I wouldn't be here.
And you know who else wouldn't be here? Because that.
It's a chain of events, and you never know. You know, you heard the guest we had on earlier today. AP is walking through the airport. Guy drops his wallet. AP returns the guy's wallet, and that's how they met. I mean, it's a series. You know, and I knew if I didn't make it to Vegas on Monday, it's lights out.
So you make it to Vegas.
Make it to Vegas.
Uh-huh.
I got mentored. So that was probably then. That was mid 2014. My son was born in 13. So yeah, about a year old. We go to Vegas. I spend 9 months learning this industry-ish, 8-9 months. I come back and start the company I have today. I started the company I have today, one of them June of 2015.
Damn.
And here we are today. And
So how'd it go?
Which part? The
You
company?
know, you started the company and you're feeling pretty good about your
Look,
choices?
I'm blessed more than most.
Yeah.
I took a little hit this year
Don't
in
be humble.
2020.
Don't be humble, because what I want to highlight, and the reason why I was such an asshole during the period when you were so down, because that feeling of when you're fucked and you know it. I mean, you know it.
Know it.
And the fact that you felt that bad, but now because of it, you feel so good.
I do feel good, but
It's got to feel good.
it does feel good.
Because you
it does
remember where
feel
you
good.
was. When you say it? 13, 14?
Well, my son was born in 13.
That
nothing.
wasn't that long ago, brother.
Not 7 years ago. It's not that long ago in the grand scheme of things.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's October 29th. We officially start filming season 2 in 11 days. Just today finished the bookings for all the guests, airfare, hotel, everything like that. By the way, just finished swim therapy. It's good for you. Get off your ass, go swim some laps. But I was feeling overwhelmed. This is a lot, to be honest, and we're at the crunch time. You know, a lot of people see the lights and the camera in the studio, and they think it's all glamorous and fun and games, but it's a lot of work. A lot of work, a lot of passion, a lot of heart and soul that's gone into this. So let's just keep going. Season 2, 11 days. Let's roll.
So to take it from that point, and that's the reason why, and how'd you feel? But now, that decision of bust your ass in 4 days to move from Phoenix to Vegas and bring a baby and anything, that is balls to the walls. I ain't got money. I'm running up in the Target, and thank God I don't get caught.
Yeah, that's true.
To now. People, make that hard damn choice. Make it.
And put in the work. Understand your craft. I got all fired up on Hal's episode. Understand your craft. This is what I tell. I've given talks at Thunderbird Global School of Management. I've given all about entrepreneurship, and what I say is understand your craft. Whatever industry you're in, you have a product or service, and you're selling it to a customer. You better know that whole cycle like you know the back of your hand. You better, if you can't rattle off how much your product or service costs, how much are you selling it for? How much are you acquiring your customer for? How much you have to know, where's your industry headed? Where's it going to be in 10 years? Are you even going to be around in 10 years? If you're not, being an entrepreneur is hard.
Yeah.
And my definition of an entrepreneur, just me, is you rely on you, yourself, or a small team of people that you put together for your income. You could have the entrepreneurial spirit and work for a Fortune 100 company. And that's all fine. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Nothing wrong with that at all. God bless you.
Right.
But to be an entrepreneur and go build something and start something from scratch, that's an uphill battle.
But you feel good about it.
I feel great about it.
I'm glad you feel great about it.
I feel great about it.
So if you could go back and talk to yourself in 2013, 14, what was you know what? Screw that. What's the biggest thing you learned about your failure?
Business failure?
Yeah.
Well, I got into an industry because I thought it was cool. I got into an industry because, at the time, everybody was in tech. And it's like, okay, I'll open up. I know, I didn't know what I was doing. Biggest lesson, like I just said, know your craft. Whatever industry you're in. I don't care if you're a restaurant owner, no food service. Know what the hell that means. If you have a laundromat on the corner, know what that means. Know how long it takes to dry clean a shirt and ship it back out and bring the next one in. I mean, whatever industry you're in, Understand that industry and master your craft. If not, you're either going to be mediocre at best, or you're probably going to be lights out very soon.
Somebody right now probably lost their company.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that have lost their
Somebody
company.
right now, COVID done beat the damn piss out of them. And if you could tell those people one thing, what would it be right now?
Find a way to keep going. It will change. You find a way to keep going. And why you're probably not keeping going, if it's money, I get it. Do everything you can to find a way to solve it, especially during now in 2020. There's a lot of programs out there for small businesses, but if it's a financial issue, just find a way. Be resourceful. I don't know. I can't pinpoint an exact, do this, but if it's money, find a way. If it's a lack of customers,
right,
or another problem, then have a come to Jesus meeting with yourself tonight.
Buy a fucking vow.
And buy a vowel and ask yourself, okay, why don't I have customers? Is the industry going away? Will it come back soon? Is it because stuff happening in 2020 and that's just, but you got to identify the problem. There's a lot of problems. Is it an internal problem? Is it a financial problem? Is it I have no more customers problem? Does my product suck? And guess what? If your product sucks, then maybe you got to shut the company down and go try something new. Because guess what? Happens all the time. Somebody said you got to kill your darlings. You got to kill your babies.
Hey, sometimes you got to take the family dog out.
Sometimes.
Look at the flowers.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I had the pleasure tonight to interview one of the biggest influencers that I know. And he told you some things tonight that were probably hard to hear, and that's okay. Because that ooey gooey shit that I want to die, I want to give up right now shit is the difference between stealing some damn diapers and this. Influence is leadership, and that's all it is. Ladies and gentlemen, David Johnson, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for the opportunity. It was an honor for me.
Thank you.
When I say I love you, I mean it, man.
I love you right back.
Peace.